Hi, welcome. Come around, I'll show you something. Can you see what I can see? I'll show you again. Have a look. Look. Can you see it? You can't see it. Ah, okay. Let me give you one clue. And let's start with this engineering marvel, which we call the Sydney Harbour Bridge.
The Harbour Bridge has become world famous as a symbol of Sydney, but its construction was the result of over 100 years of discussion and planning. Work finally began on the bridge in September 1926.
Well, there's another story about the Harbour Bridge and how it started. And it was only for the vision of our Premier Lang and engineer Bradfield that the Harbour Bridge was built. The budget for the Harbour Bridge was rejected by the Parliament. Then this half a dozen people went to the State Bank and just got the money, the deposit, and they started the Harbour Bridge. That's how it started.
I don't know whether that is the first tram, but it is certainly one of the early ones that went across the bridge.
Unnoticed by anyone, an extra horseman, Captain Francis de Groot, had joined the rear of the light horse escort, with historic consequences. Incensed that the bridge was not to be opened by royalty or by the Queen's representative, Captain de Groot galloped forward and slashed the ribbon with his sword. He was quickly hustled away and the ceremony continued. Finally, thousands of people walked across the bridge. Today, around 176,000 motor vehicles and 400 trains cross the Harbour Bridge every weekday.
What an incredible story and what an incredible project. But can you imagine when the project was finished, they actually sacked the Premier Lang? Premier Lang was sacked because of his actions. I mean, that great man with a vision, and they just sacked him. Can you imagine that? I mean, how did this man feel at that time when he did what he could to just deliver such a project? Now, let's have a look at the project once again. We did say 8 lines for cars, 2 lines for railways, 1 for pedestrian, 1 for cyclists. Now, look at our projects today. Look at our politicians today. Look at their vision. They built, for example, something that they call the M5. You know why it's called the M5? Yeah, M5, miles 5, because the average speed on the M5 is 5 miles an hour. You still want to know about this, why I'm here? No, wait, we just look at this story first. We're gonna go now to London, and we're gonna have a look at the little history there of the underground. Let's have a look at that.
Not many of us realise, as we use this historic structure every day, how impossibly brilliant the engineering of it had to be to defy a generation of doubters. Its engineering remains something Londoners should treasure as remarkable, groundbreaking, and emphatically ours. It is one of the true wonders of the Western world. First propositioned over 150 years ago, it is now one of the world's busiest transport networks and finest examples of engineering. London has always been a popular destination, but never more than at the beginning of the 19th century, when it transformed into the largest city in the world. It was, on the face of it, an ambitious idea, running trains, and steam trains at that, in tunnels underneath London. By 1855, Parliament had everything it needed to approve the construction of the first underground railway in the world, the Metropolitan. Using cut and cover technology, workers excavated the entire 3.5-mile tunnel, laying the road back over the top as they went. Combination of electric traction, hydraulic lifts and safe tunnelling technology give us the world's first deep tube electric railway. Thousands of Londoners were now using the tube daily. By the 1930s, the London transport system was unquestionably the best in the world.
And what's happening with the underground in London today? Let's have a look at that as well.
Today, one of the largest and most ambitious engineering projects in Europe is underway: Crossrail. 8 giant custom-made tunnel boring machines are working 24 hours a day to excavate the ground and build concrete tunnel walls. Once complete, many thousands of Londoners will go about their business largely oblivious to its presence. Perhaps we should, every now and then at least, reflect on what the city would be like if the tube had never existed. Be thankful for the visionaries of the past and hopeful that their legacy will once more receive the attention it deserves.
Incredible, isn't it? This is what I'm talking about. These people, they have vision. And this is why I'm here. Because this is not working. Apparently we're losing $10 million every day running this thing in here. Sorry, I call it a thing because I don't really like it. I don't agree. I love Australia, but things like this, we might have to just look at them and change them and do what they do in other places. And here in Sydney, we have the most expensive land in Australia. And some of the suburbs in Sydney, they're the most expensive in the Southern Hemisphere. And we have this land in here occupied by something that is losing money. What can we do? Send it underground. That's what I think. Now, look at the benefits of it. No bridges. We don't have to worry about retaining walls or retaining any of the land. Any of this infrastructure, it doesn't have to be even galvanized when it's underground. Look at it now. It's all getting rusty. Look at it. And then what about the noise? Ask these people that they live next to the railway lines, what do they think about the noise? And what about the ugliness? Don't tell me that those things here, they look good. They're ugly. I don't know, maybe to me. I don't know, what do you think about it? But to me, they're very ugly. And imagine if we send the Sydney railways underground. It means that the traffic flow would be a lot better, because now hundreds of streets, they just cut in half. When this goes, the streets will join again. Now we're just waiting in a lot of traffic, especially peak hour traffic, just to cross one bridge every 2-3 kilometers. Where's the next bridge from here? Down at Redfern. How many streets there are between here and Redfern? Have a look at this map that we just made. Incredible, isn't it? Now what about the value of this land? In a few years' time, our youngsters won't be able to buy not a flat, but a little garage. And of course, imagine how many thousands, or should I say hundreds of thousands of jobs we can create by building those tunnels, and of course, just having this land available for infrastructure. We should try to get rid of that. We'll bring the equipment that I have in London, start digging underground, and get rid of this. Our next subject is about waste. Now, we've seen some great solutions like metropolitan demolitions and Kennedy's timbers and what the wonderful jobs that they do. But still, we produce 2 million tons of rubbish every year just in New South Wales alone. So what do? We use landfills. Let's have a look at this report and what people think about landfills.
So how does a modern landfill work? Imagine a giant plastic bathtub in the ground. Trash is added to the open tub and covered each day with daily cover. Any water that's in the trash, or any rain or snow that seeps through the cover, starts to trickle down through the garbage. When water and waste are mixed, it creates a toxic, poisonous soup called leachate. Leachate contains all the dangerous stuff that's in a lot of what people throw in the trash. The tens of thousands of chemicals, heavy metals, and other toxic materials found in electronics, batteries, prescription drugs, and plastics, just to name a few. Now the leachate, containing these poisons, percolates through the trash and eventually pools at the bottom. History has proven that many parts of a landfill system will eventually fail. The collection pipes buried under the garbage will become clogged and eventually break. Liners will be punctured by sharp objects, and the chemicals in leachate will burn holes in the plastic. Small holes become big holes, and eventually the barrier between the waste and groundwater completely fails.
So you see, landfills is not a good solution. But what is the solution? Well, it happened that I was in Amsterdam a few years ago, and a friend over there, he just took me for a tour at his factory.
More than 1.5 million tons of domestic and commercial waste is processed here each year on 6 incineration lines. Waste lorries and trains bring in the waste. Large grippers then transfer the waste mixture into the hoppers of the furnaces. The waste is incinerated on grates. Temperatures range between 1000 and 1200 degrees Celsius. This heat is not wasted. It turns water in the furnace walls into steam. This steam passes through the 3 turbines at high pressure, and the turbines drive a generator. This generates enough electricity to power 161,000 homes every year. After the electricity has been generated, the residual heat is used to produce heat for the city. This is piped to the district heating system in Amsterdam and provides warmth for 15,000 homes. Part of the waste is incombustible. This part which remains after incineration we call bottom ash. Technology developed together with Delft University of Technology is used to wash and recover metals from the bottom ash. Large amounts of iron and non-ferrous metals, such as aluminium and copper, are returned to the scrap metal trade for recycling. The rest is cleaned further until clean sand and a stony granulate remain. High-quality building materials which are used, for example, in concrete and asphalt. After the incineration process, the flue gases are cleaned. A sensor in the chimney constantly measures the quality of the discharge gases. The white plume of smoke is in fact nothing more than basically pure steam. 99% of the waste is converted into sustainable electricity, heat, and useful building materials.
Incredible, isn't it? Not only they just get rid of their rubbish very, very cheaply, they produce electricity for 161,000 homes. That's in Amsterdam. They produce hot water for 51,000 homes. And they also produce road base and other products for road building and construction materials. And that's with the rubbish that we are paying $320 per ton to get rid of it. You know how much that plant is worth? According to Henry Holderman, he said to me it cost him 60 million euros about 10 years ago, about $100,000. But if you look at the cost of our rubbish to go to landfill, it's about $600 million. In 1 year, we could build 6 units like that. Okay, enough of whinging for today. Let's go to Newtown and have some wonderful pizza and some gelato and some espresso. Oh, sorry, I didn't hear it. Did you say action? Can you say in action? Still I finished my ice cream. We are in Newtown now. Look at this. This place absolutely buzzing with people. It's Sunday night. If you go to other places, pretty dead. But this one here, it's amazing. Look at it. People everywhere, amazing shops everywhere. So my first stop, of course, is Gelatissimo. Look at that. Now, they have the best mango sorbet, like in Italy. This place reminds me a lot of Italy. Of course, the passion fruit is the best. They don't have passion fruit in Italy, of course, only in Australia. And then lemon. Oh, that's something else. You have to come and try it. Newton Gelatissimo. You know what? Actually, the Bondi one is actually very good as well. So if you're in Bondi, go down there as well. Now, I'm just going to finish this. I woke up. I'll show you some other shops. And we're going to have some pizza later on. And some espresso. What else? We're in Italy mood for tonight. Let's go. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. So if you're crazy about chocolate like I am, make sure you go and visit Max Brennan. And how about the newly refurbished Newtown Hotel? Whoa. And here in Newtown, you'll find fresh juices and hamburgers and lots of takeaway stuff. Did I mention the great coffee shops? And then you can get Mexican and Greek and lots of Asian, starting with Chinese. How about some Indian? Did I mention the coffee shops? And great sushi here in Newtown with these great Japanese restaurants. And now, time for a stop. But what happens? Of course, after the gelato, the next thing is what? An espresso. And look at this one. Here I am at this place called Bambino Torino. And of course, I'm gonna have my little coffee. I don't know what happened to me, but when I have my gelato and my coffee, I'd start speaking with an Italian accent. I can't help myself. Now, you have to remember one thing about when you have your cafe espresso. Your cafe espresso, for example, when you put your sugar in the coffee, you always remember that they normally, in Italy, they just give you one little spoon like this one. Here in Australia, of course, not many people do, and they bring me sometimes one spoon that's big like this from a tea or from a soup. I don't know what it's from, but usually it's a smaller one like that one. The other important thing, of course, is the water. You can't have your espresso, it's very strong, so you need water to have it with. So this is a good place because always brings you water to have your espresso with. Because remember, this is a very strong coffee and it's a very good coffee, but you need the water. So let me taste it. Ah, bellissimo. And look at this. That's what you need the water for. Anyway, we just wait now, and Leah, the owner of the shop, is going to come and she's going to tell us all about pizza. She's got some strange news to tell us. Apparently something to do with the name and where pizza comes from. Let's wait. So now I have with me Leah. She's the owner, like I said before, of the Bambino Torino. Hello, Leah.
Hello, Harry. How are you?
I'm very good. Of course, I'm very good now. I have my espresso. I feel so much better now. I already had my gelatissimo gelato. So now we are having a gelato. This is very nice. Thank you very much. It's beautiful.
Thank you, signore.
Now, pizza. That's Italian.
Well, people think it's Italian, but in actual fact, it's ancient Greek.
No, come on, everything is ancient Greek. No, it can't
yes,
be.
the ancient...
First, come on, it came from Naples. That's a fact. Pizza came from Naples. And what Naples is? Italy.
Nowadays, Italy, Harry.
Yeah.
Years ago, Naples was an ancient Greek civilization, an ancient Greek colony, just like Sicily, Calabria.
And what did they call the city?
Pompeii, Napoli.
Neapoli? You wouldn't believe this because we actually in Newtown. And I always thought, hang on, Neapoli means the new city, which is Newtown. Hey, what's going on? Neapoli over there, Newtown over here, it's the same name. Maybe we can make a sistership between the two cities.
Why not?
All right. So because you're Greek, of course, we have to believe you that it's actually a Greek name.
I'm not saying
it. Hang on, what about the Indians? They make naan. That's pizza?
Yes. No.
Oh, no, it doesn't have the toppings. Oh, yeah, no toppings. What about the Persians? Iran? Yeah, also they don't have toppings.
They had some toppings.
Egyptians?
They did make some sort of a flat bread as well, but the ancient Greeks were the forefathers of pizza, came from the word pitta.
Pitta. Oh,
Pitta. That's
pita
where
bread.
pie came from, and pizza came from the ancient Greeks, pitta. Napoli and Pompeii were ancient Greek cities, and that's where they first originally made pizza, when the Greeks were in ancient Magna Graecia, which was Greece, many thousands of years ago, Harry. The Americans make modern pizza, and the Italian Americans made the modern pizza, which we have modern pizza and we have more classical and more. We also have the old style pizzas as well.
So the pizza like Napolitana, it's the traditional Italian pizza, isn't it?
Very.
You know, one other thing in Italy, for example, when I go to Italy, the pizza is square. It's not round. Only in America and Australia is round. Why?
Because many years ago, the Greeks, the ancient Greeks, going back to the ancient Greeks, back to the ancient Greeks, they had a dish called the lagana. And that lagana, the Greeks took it worldwide. Wherever they traveled over the world, they took the lagana so they can cook. They cooked flat bread in it, and sheets of pasta. And from this lagana, the Italians named lasagna. It came from the lagana.
Can't be that. That's great.
I'm sorry, Harry.
No,
I'm-
don't believe it. No,
It's true. It's all true.
I'm
I've
going to have a
studied
look
it.
at the internet.
You can have it.
I'm
I've got a
gonna
book
check
over
it out
there.
there.
I've got a
You
book.
got a
Would
book
you
of-
like me to bring me my book?
okay.
My book?
All right. No, okay, I believe you. Okay, I believe you. Now, of course, we know we're getting hungry after finishing my espresso. Can we have some?
Of course, you can try our pizza, pasta, salads,
Right,
whatever you like.
Okay. So we're going to have a Napoletana. I'm going to have a Supreme. I have a joke that I need one pizza on his hand because I'm actually on a balanced diet.
Okay, that's fine.
So I need one pizza on his hand, you know what I mean?
I know what you mean, signore.
Balanced diet. Like 1
Great.
year on his hand, tonight one pizza on his hand. Okay, since now we are talking about America, Naples and Sicily and Greece, can I just say a joke? Yeah, okay, I'll say it. Now, what do they call the organized crime in America? In America, they call it mafia, I tell you. In Italy, actually in Milan, is it? No, Naples.
Naples.
Oh, sorry, Naples. In Naples, they call it Cosa Nostra. In Sicily, they call it Camorra. So, Sicily is Camorra, Naples is Cosa Nostra, and in America, it's Mafia. Now, what do they call organized crime in Greece? You don't know? I tell you, government.
I wanted to say something along those lines.
Madonna mia, unbelievable. What is this? Is this for two? They said to me, you put too much weight. I said, what about too much more weight? It's not my fault, it's your fault.
I'm so sorry,
at
Harry.
this.
We want to look after you.
Hey, look at this. What's this one?
That's a Bambino special.
That's not a bambina. Come on, what are you talking about? That's a gigas.
That's a Supreme pizza. Now Supreme pizza.
Supreme. And this one here is the... Oh, I'm just trying to try it. Can we go? Can we go?
Napolitana.
Napolitano. Okay, quick. What else?
Bolognese.
Bolognese. Oh, yes. Look at this one. Now, one thing about Bolognese, you know, people say to me all the time here in Australia or in England, everywhere I go, they say to me, you have to use a spoon.
Yes.
And I say, no, I don't want to use a spoon. I'm Italian. I want to eat like an Italian. Actually, I'm Greek. I'm lying. But I want to eat like an Italian. And Italians say it like this. They grab it like that, and they go like this, and then they eat it.
That's right.
Where does the spoon come from?
Ah,
I don't know.
just makes it a bit neater.
Yeah, I think this is sort of the society, the what do you call it? The
Yuppies.
yuppies. Yeah, of course. But you don't enjoy it as much. You know, I just enjoyed it like that. All my life we did like this. And then here in Australia, I have to use a spoon. I don't know. Anyway, this is a beautiful salad. That's a garden salad. Now look at that.
Italian salad.
Great. And of course, what else but some beautiful Australian wine? Yes. Now, that's it. I said that's it. Cut. We gotta go. Quick. Thank you.
You're
See you
welcome.
later. See you later. Come on. What do you want? You want to come and eat? Come on. Come on. Here it is. Bambino Torino. No, Bambino? Yeah. Bambino Torino. That's right. Here in Newtown, just near the RPH hospital. See you next week.